Sex therapist Laura Berman, once a regular guest on the Today Show, had an interesting encounter with its star co-host Matt Lauer in 2007. The encounter ostensibly involved his troubled marriage to former model Annette Roque, Berman said during an interview with Inside Edition late last week. But the encounter may also explain several reports in the past week that the fired Today Show host kept a bag of sex toys in his office closet. He was accused at one point of taking one of those toys and presenting it to a female colleague with an explicit note about how he wanted her to use it. "We were in the makeup room, and he sort of asked the makeup artist to leave," Berman told Inside Edition. "He asked me about sexual aids and devices. He confided in me about some of the struggles he was having in his married relationship." Berman said Lauer didn't want to be spotted buying sex toys in a store. "I brought him a shopping bag filled with toys from my line that were designed for couples, spicing things up," she said. Lauer was fired from his longtime, $25 million a year job co-anchoring the Today Show last Wednesday. His termination came one day after NBC executives learned of what they described as a credible and specific allegation of sexual misconduct involving an NBC colleague. The allegation relates to alleged misconduct that began when Lauer was covering the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics. Since then, at least 2 more women have filed complaints with NBC, and Variety and the New York Times reported multiple instances of alleged harassment or assault. The allegations include Lauer, 59, exposing himself to a female colleague, presenting another with a sex toy, forcing himself on women during ostensibly work-related meetings in his office or in hotel rooms, and generally using his position to silence victims and stay in power. Numerous reports say it's not likely that Lauer will get his desired $30 million payout from NBC, Page 6 said. The reports about Berman and her sex toys gift stemmed from a recently unearthed 2016 video. In it, Lauer's former Today Show co-host Meredith Vieira teased him about keeping a bag of erotic products in his closet, TMZ reported. Lauer and his co-anchor Savannah Guthrie were guests on Vieira's since canceled The Meredith Vieira Show. During the segment, Vieira put Lauer on the spot by bringing up the bag, which she found in his closet. Lauer danced out of the awkward moment by saying that, yes, the toys were the gift of a sex therapist. But he, of course, didn't say the therapist brought them specifically to him, as Berman has described. Instead, he said the therapist gave samples of her products to everyone on the show. "We had a guest on the show who was what was she? A sex therapist, and so when she left she gave each of us a shopping bag of stuff," Lauer said. Vieira didn't recall receiving any such gift. In her interview with Inside Edition, Berman told a different version of how the sex toys wound up in Lauer's possession. The sex therapist said she didn't consider Lauer a patient, so she never regarded her conversation with him about his marriage to be a confidential. Moreover, she indicated she was disturbed that one of her products might have been used to harass a woman Lauer worked with. "I'm sort of crestfallen if any of those toys were used to harass any colleagues or any women," Berman said. Tabloid reports have long labeled Lauer a womanizer and described his marriage as troubled. Since his firing, outlets have also reported that he and Roque have essentially lived separate lives since the mid-2000s. The couple married in a chic Hamptons wedding in 1998, Page 6 said. Roque is a former Victoria's Secret and J.Crew model. In 2006, she filed for divorce when she was 7 months pregnant with their third child, accusing Lauer of cruel and inhumane behavior. The Daily Mail and Page 6 said she filed for divorce after learning that Lauer was having an affair. Rumors at the time held that he was playing around with Today Show colleague Natalie Morales, but both he and Morales have vehemently denied an affair. Roque withdrew the filing a month later, and Page 6 reported Saturday that Lauer offered her up to $5 million to stay in the marriage. A source told Page 6 Matt needed to stay in the marriage to keep his reputation as America's nicest dad. He is in fact a very doting dad to his kids, but he is also a terrible husband. Since then, Roque has been living full-time in Sag Harbor in the Hamptons with their children on a 40-acre estate that includes a high-end horse farm with stables for 36 animals, Page 6 said. Lauer, meanwhile, lives in a Park Avenue apartment in New York. After being fired, Lauer decamped to the Hamptons home and was spotted as recently as Monday morning driving their son, 11, to school. Reports late last week suggested that Roque had fled to her native Netherlands with their two youngest children, but a source outside the home told the New York Post that Roque is still in the Hamptons. Lauer expressed remorse in a statement issued last week, saying, "Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I regret that my shame is now shared by the people I cherish dearly."